think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my
Absolutely
head.
not. I don't think, I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't.
Don't get married.
No.
Okay.
Man, these women are so bitter. They are so bitter. Michelle, what are your thoughts?
That's all I thought. KJ, it reeks of bitterness. How many marriage proposals are you getting? Let me see how many marriage proposals she's gotten. What are the caliber of men that are attracted to or willing to date? And then we've talked about this before in the past. Women whose expectations are here of these mythical men and what they're going to do for them. This is a woman, again, who makes millions of dollars, who is everywhere. Her house can buy whatever she wants. Keep your mouth closed about marriage. If you're not married, then you don't want to be a slave. Don't be a slave, because nobody wants you to be their slave, clearly, in that context. Second off, absolutely not. Marriage is a union. Mm-hmm. Marriage is coming together. This two become one, man leaving his family to be with his wife. And without marriage, your tail and half the other people here wouldn't exist. God created marriage for a reason.
Exactly.
We are here on this earth for a reason. I am so sick of this radical feminism. It's outrageous. I love my husband. There's no slavery involved.
And that's another point right there. Firstly, I want to let these people, the chat is going off. She is a biological woman, folks. I know it's hard to believe, but she's a biological woman. First thing, I am a huge believer of this. Do not take advice on marriage from people who are not married. Mm-hmm. Now, this is just a personal opinion of mine. I think if you want to take advice from other topics, that maybe somebody is not an expert in or doesn't have experience in, but if they want to give advice, but when it comes to marriage, in my opinion, I don't believe you should take advice from people who are not married. Now, not to say that everyone's married is going to give you great advice. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is marriage is a special club, folks. It's almost like a not only a club, but you really have to be in it, I believe, to understand and to counsel people on it. I really believe that, because there's just so many things you go through within a marriage. And most people they mean well. You have your single girlfriends, definitely I've been there, who just want to give you advice. But honestly, if they've never been married, they don't really know what they're talking about to me. This is just my opinion. They don't really know what they're talking about. And the only other thing about it is, that's another thing. I wouldn't take advice from anybody who is not a Bible-believing married person. Mm-hmm. A Bible-believing married person is very important. You have some of these people who are married who don't believe in a biblical marriage. I wouldn't take advice from them either. That's just me. What are your thoughts on that, Michelle?
Man, you're preaching to this choir here, because I've said that before. We have friends where, everything looks amazing. It's beautiful. The house, the money, the cars, everything. And I've seen some things and I'm like, oh, that's not the marriage that I want. So please don't give me advice when I see what you do behind closed doors, when I see how you treat each other. So I want to be around people who have a marriage that I wouldn't mind modeling. A marriage that, they have ups and downs, but they work through it. A godly marriage is that. It is being willing to compromise, to give, to take. So this joke, and I call it a joke, this laughable slavery concept is in some type of like prearranged marriage. That's more like some Islamic type marriage. There are some marriages that can be like that. That is not what marriage is in general. That is not how God intended for marriage to be. And so I think we've gotten to this society where we demonized families and we separated them and we gave them this false notion that I can do bad all by myself. I can do great all by myself. I'm strong. I am independent. Or a man who can say, you know, I don't really need a woman. I can do all of this. I can be single until whenever or forever. Now, if God has set you aside and you were not supposed to be with a spouse, fine. That or you never found that person, fine. Or maybe you found that person's gone and you decided I'm not going to remarry. There's all kinds of different circumstances. But Kate, you and I, we've been up with our spouses for 20 years. And when I found my husband, I found a good thing. And you better believe, like the word said, when my husband found his wife, he found a good thing. He better not argue when I get home after saying that either. He better.
Yeah. And you brought up a very good point about biblical marriage. It's built on love, not control. You know, so for her to say, you know, this is about, you know, slavery, you know, Ephesians 5:25 talks about husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Okay. So again, that's not domination. It's about sacrifice. What did Jesus do? He sacrificed. Okay. Christ didn't enslave the church. He died for it. All right. So that's what it's about. You know, show me where slavery involves dying for the one you love. Okay. That's not oppression. It's sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, you know, she just doesn't have a clue of what she's talking about. She's a bitter, miserable woman. And again, as I said in the last segment, we got to pray for this woman. We have to pray for her. Yeah. Pray she finds the love of God, because that's another thing. Most of these people don't have a relationship with God. You know, they're not reading their Bibles, because that's where you would realize what biblical marriage is. Mutual submission, not a one-sided power thing going on.
You know what? And I'm not going to discount the fact that she may have self-esteem issues that would really push her to say things like this. And a lot of women that do have that kind of money power, I've seen comments about her and others. And that might affect their perspective. So maybe she needs to find the love of Christ and then love herself. And maybe that's when sometimes when you're not looking, the love of your life shows up.
Yeah. Yep.
All the
time. Many times. You got to
be ready for when. And sometimes God says you're just not ready. I don't think you're ready for that one, because you're not willing or at a point where you will sacrifice. Well, you will grow with that person. And I got to say, because some people talk about that being barefoot and pregnant. I was happily barefoot and pregnant. I'm gonna tell you what, for like 14 years of my life,
right.
Because I had my children every time my one child was 2 years old. I was pregnant with the next baby for 14 consecutive years. They're exactly 3 years apart. So I was nursing baby, pregnant with the baby, or nursing a baby, or changing diapers for a very long time. And I actually didn't mind it, because I was fruitful. I multiplied. Pregnancy was easy for me. I enjoyed it. That was a part of my life I would never change. Wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm a darn good cook. I was in the kitchen. I'm still in the kitchen. I'm still a good cook. So I don't mind. That was what I loved. That's what God had for me for that time. And so I will defend it to the end.
Yeah, God bless you, Michelle. God bless you and your womb. Oh my gosh. Now, that's one thing. You lost me there. I did enjoy being pregnant. I would say the first 7 months was good. After that, just get this baby out. Oh my God. It was so uncomfortable. The last month I slept in the chair. Last 2 months, probably. I couldn't lay, because I'm on my back. I sleep on my stomach generally. I sleep on my stomach or I sleep on my back. Yeah. And of course, when you're pregnant, you have to sleep on your side. So that was uncomfortable. So I wound up sleeping in the chair for the last 2 months. Oh God. And I mean, it was good up until for the first 7 months. After then,
I didn't say it was easy, but I wouldn't trade it, because I carried them monsters till 40 weeks.
Yeah, well, you did. Yeah.
9 months was a lie. I'm gonna tell you, 9 months is a lie from the pits of hell. It is not 9 months. It is 9 months and some change. And for some of us, it's 10 months. But again,
God, I was over. I was overdue. They had to actually They finally put me in the hospital to induce, but good Lord, it was uncomfortable. Nobody tells you about the labor either, not all of it. Oh.
Nice on Sunday.
This is Christian Conservative. I'm KJ with Michelle Talkington.
Conservative is our name.